Hi, Bob Canote, and we're here at the Camp Chaos Chronicles High Altitude Testing Facility. You may know it as Pikes Peak. Now this is the third day of our road trip, and Ol Tex has not missed a beat all the way, but this is the reason why we're here, to take it up the hill. And Tony, what do you think the chances are?
I'm going with 9.75. We've worked on this thing, running good. I think we can make it all the way up.
Is that 9.75 out of 10 or out of 100?
That's out of 10.
Okay. I'm a little surprised at the note of optimism, but I'll take it. Dang it. Now what I should have said was that when the car actually starts and runs, that it doesn't skip a beat. Because as soon as we got done shooting that clip, got in the car, turned the key, nothing. Just like at the hotel. So, and that was of course to the great amusement of all the people in the cars waiting to go up the hill. And I get it, old Jaguar, won't start, Prince of Darkness, you know, that sort of thing, I get it. But after 10 minutes of fiddling with the wire and not really understanding why this thing is actually working, it started and we began our trip up the hill. Not only that, but they actually made a gap for us to go to the head of the line. You may well ask, what's the deal with the roll of paper towels in between the hood and the cowl? Well, the deal is that the day before, at lower elevation, around 5,000 feet, we had gone through some passes, some relatively steep grades, and the engine showed signs of heating a little bit, not much, around 210 degrees, which is the temperature at which the thermostats are fully open. But kind of got scared and thought that, you know, this is going to be more of an issue when we go up a much steeper grade like on Pikes Peak. So I, in the interest of actually just getting to the top of the mountain, I decided that it was something that we should do. In retrospect, I just waited until it actually proved to be a problem and then do it at that point. So, but you know what? That point where it didn't start down at the bottom of the hill kind of spooked me a little bit, so. And we are at mile 13. We got 7 to go.
Okay.
All right. We've made it to the 11,440 foot point, the Glen Cove Lodge. And earlier today when we started out, had you said that I would get this far with this car, I would have considered it a success. But I'm telling you, this thing is just banging out the feet, the miles, and I think we're gonna make it up there. Now at 13,000 feet, there's a big parking lot. And that's there so that when there's construction going on at the top or major maintenance projects, all the traffic gets shunted off into this parking lot, and then you can take shuttles to the top. What they need to do is they need to minimize the amount of traffic or amount of vehicles that are parked up at the top of the mountain during certain times. And what they're doing right now is a major renovation up at the top. In fact, I don't know what of the original facility is going to be left because they've got everything torn up. And if you go to their website, you can see their proposal for what's going on. So it's going to be a pretty amazing thing when they're finished. So when we got up to that point, everybody gets shuffled off into the parking lot. And, you know, we got out, we took a little bit of a break and talked about what we're going to do next. The previous day, when we had done the reconnaissance mission in the van, we were shunted off into the parking lot, and I'm standing looking at the top of the mountain, and I'm thinking, you know, if we can't get all the way up there, this is going to be a major disappointment. And right about that time, a large black pickup truck pulled up to the guy who was directing traffic up there, had a construction company logo on the side, and I walked up to the truck, and turns out the guy inside was the superintendent of construction at the top of the mountain. So I asked him, what's the probability of us being able to get a couple of summit passes for tomorrow? And he said 0, because we've got a ton of stuff going on up there tomorrow that we need to minimize traffic for. So that was a major letdown. But Tex had other plans. Because if you remember, after the intro clip was shot, we got in the car and he wouldn't start. So we had the hood open, we're working on the car, and a ranger came over to see what was going on. And we explained it, and Tony, during the course of his smoothification process that he works on most people we meet for the first time on these trips, asked the question, what are the chances that we can get a couple of summit passes? At which point, the ranger reached into their bag and pulled out a couple of summit passes, one for Ol Tex, one for the van. So we were set. Have them tell us when to go.
Let us know when you want us to go. Okay, here we come. you're hearing the guy in the bicycle.
Yep, and I already did that. That's how I lost my thought.
Oh, okay.
I was back there picking it up. Park. Yep, park right here for me. Perfect. Thank you.
Whoa! I can't believe this! Is this for real?
I can't believe this will. I don't know what to say. Except that it just takes my breath away. Right?
Parking there.
I'm kind of at a loss for words.
Park right next to that.
Tony was right. 97. What'd you say? 97.9.75
9.75.
out of 10 probability. And you know what? He's right.
We made it.
I'm gonna have to start believing the on-screen Tony. And quit listening to the off-screen Tony. But I'm telling you what, we bought this thing for $500 in northern Texas. We put another $1,500 in it, and you know, basically bought a $150 engine and put some bearings in it, and just did some other things, put some tires on it, and here we are at the top of Pikes Peak, 1,100 feet,
Something like that.
something like that.
Once you get past 14,000, you quit counting, I think.
Yeah. You quit counting because there's no oxygen to fuel your brain. Is kind of what I'm feeling right now. But anyway, I'm here with four of my best favorite people in the world, and I don't know who else I would have rather shared this with. So,
Yeah, thanks for the ride.
you bet, Tony.
We made it.
We made it. Well, now it's time for the Camp Chaos Chronicles High Altitude Testing Facility long distance brake test. And what that means is that we've got 20 miles from the pinnacle of Pikes Peak down to the starting point down below. But hey, we built these brakes ourselves. We'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. We don't see you again. Arrivederci.
Oh, God. Thing smells like World War II.
Now you may well ask, what is that horrendous noise coming from the front of the car? Well, you may have noticed it in previous clips, but it wasn't quite so pronounced. Obviously, we've got a problem with contact between the fan and something in front of it. So it was only really a problem below 15 miles an hour or so, but it got really pretty bad when the car was pointed down the hill. So it was a thing.
Bob, I told you we'd make it all the way up there and back.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm kind of dumbfounded. I mean, this thing's running right now. It's ticking away like a watch, and you know, we made it all the way. I hate to use the word easy, but it kind of was. And I don't know if we really would have needed to prop the hood open like we did. Temperatures were perfect all the way up.
Ran good all the way up and all the way back down. So.
$300 engine worked great. Rebuilt transmission from Dakota Auto Repair and Transmission worked just great. Man, this trip to the Camp Chaos high altitude testing facility can only be labeled a success.
It's the only way I could put it. It's a great success.
Now, next episode, we're going to flog this thing home and see what happens. So, this is it for Camp Chaos. See you next time.
Hope to see you in Minnesota. Arrivederci.